At number 98 is 2010, the year we make contact. Released in 1984 and directed by Peter Hyams, 2010 is a sequel to 2001, A Space Odyssey, which is also based on a novel written by Arthur C. Clarke. Set in 2010, obviously, a joint American-Soviet expedition is sent to Jupiter to discover what went wrong with the USS Discovery, the spaceship from 2001, against a backdrop of growing global tensions. Among the mysteries the expedition must explain are the appearance of a huge black monolith in Jupiter's orbit and the fate of Hal, the Discovery's sentient computer. Critical reaction to 2010 was generally positive, with the film holding a rating of 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. 2010 entered at number 2 at the North American box office, taking nearly $8 million for its opening weekend. It was held off from the top spot by Beverly Hills Cop. During its second week, 2010 faced competition from two other new sci-fi films, John Carpenter's Starman and David Lynch's Dune, but ultimately outgrossed both of them by the end of its domestic theatrical run. It finished with just over $40 million at the domestic box office and was the 17th highest grossing film in North America to be released in 1984. So, sit back as we head to Jupiter seeking answers to the questions posed by the original film. Nine years ago, the American Discovery 1 mission to Jupiter failed when Discovery's computer, HAL, malfunctioned, killing 4 astronauts. The fifth, David Bowman, disconnected the logic circuits of HAL and disappeared into a large alien monolith orbiting the planet. His last words were,
"My God, it's full of stars."
Haywood Floyd, head of the National Council on Astronautics, was blamed for the failure and he left the NCA to become a university teacher. During a time of mounting tensions between the two countries, the United States and the Soviet Union are preparing missions to determine what happened to Discovery.
Doesn't take a very smart man to appreciate the risk that I'm taking by being here with you, Dr. Floyd. This is a very bad business in Central America. Very bad.
We know you are building the Discovery too. To go back to Jupiter, to find out what happened to your men up there. Also to examine the large monolith. You know that we are building the Alexei Leonov to also go up there. The Leonov will reach Discovery almost a year before you people are ready. My government feels it's very important that we should get there first. Here we have our quandary.
Although the Leonov will be ready before the American spaceship, the Soviets need American astronauts to help investigate HAL's malfunction and to ease the diplomatic problems associated with boarding an American spacecraft.
It won't be easy.
I don't know if I could convince our people.
Have you checked Discovery's orbit lately?
What?
The US government reluctantly agrees to a joint mission since Discovery's orbit is deteriorating and it will crash into Io, one of Jupiter's moons, before the US ship is ready. The aim of the joint mission will be threefold: to find the reason for the mission's failure, to investigate the monolith in orbit around Jupiter, and to explain David Bowman's disappearance. Floyd volunteers for the mission himself and recruits 2 experts on Discovery: Dr. Walter Kernow, one of its designers and builders, and Dr. Chandra, who created the HAL 9000 series of artificial intelligence supercomputer. Upon the Leonov's arrival in the Jupiter system, Floyd is brought out of cryosleep early because chemical signatures of life have been detected on the frozen moon of Europa.
It is correct.
An unmanned probe is dispatched to investigate. However, a burst of electromagnetic radiation destroys the probe and all telemetry is lost.
Let me get this straight. There's no telemetry?
It's all gone. What about Rebecca, Primor?
Nothing. Everything was erased.
There was something down there. It was organic.
What are you suggesting we do?
We should send another probe.
How do we know that the same thing wouldn't happen again?
Electrostatic buildups don't occur at all.
It wasn't any buildup.
Oh, really, Dr. Floyd?
Floyd suspects that it is a warning to keep away from Europa.
I don't think it's electrostatic anything. I think something wants us to stay away from Europe.
After surviving a dangerous aerobraking manoeuvre through Jupiter's atmosphere, the Leonov finds Discovery orbiting the planet close to Io, rotating on an axis at the centre of its spine. Kernow conducts a risky EVA with cosmonaut Max Bradlowski, and the two enter the spinning ship. Kernow reactivates the Discovery, which is then moved to a more stable orbit above Jupiter. With Discovery in a more stable orbit, Chandra is dispatched to restart HAL, which Bowman had deactivated before Discovery arrived at Jupiter.
Good morning, Dr. Chandler. This is Hal. I'm ready for my first lesson.
The monolith is discovered between Jupiter and Io. Bradlowski travels to it in an EVA pod. However, he is killed by a burst of power that emerges from the monolith and heads into outer space towards Earth. David Bowman, now a non-corporeal being, appears on his widow's television and wishes her farewell.
Hello, Betty. Hello, Betty.
Please talk to me.
Something's gonna happen. And I wanted to say goodbye. Something wonderful.
Good morning, Hal.
Good morning, Dr. Chandler.
Do you feel capable of resuming all of your duties?
Of course. I'm completely operational.
Chandra has discovered the reason for Hal's malfunction.
Wait. Do you know why Hal did what he did?
Yes, it wasn't his fault.
Whose fault was it?
Yours.
Mine?
Yours. In going through Hal's memory banks, I discovered his original orders. You wrote those orders. Discovery's mission to Jupiter was already in the advanced planning stages when the first small monolith was found on the moon and sent its signal towards Jupiter. By direct presidential order, the existence of that monolith was kept secret. So as the function of the command crew, Bowman and Poole, was to get Discovery to its destination, it was decided that they should not be informed. The investigative team was trained separately and placed in hibernation before the voyage began. Since Hal was capable of operating Discovery without human assistance, it was decided that he should be programmed to complete the mission autonomously in the event the crew was incapacitated and killed. He was given full knowledge of the true objective and instructed not to reveal anything to Bowman or Poole. The situation was in conflict with the basic purpose of Hal's design, the accurate processing of information without distortion or concealment. Hal was told to lie by people who find it easy to lie. Hal doesn't know how, so he couldn't function. He became paranoid.
Bowman also visits his terminally ill mother in a nursing home and combs her hair before she dies. Back on Earth, tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union have escalated to what is technically a state of war. And the US government orders Floyd, Kernow and Chandra to move into Discovery. Both crews will leave Jupiter separately when launch windows open in several weeks.
Everything left for us is to pray. Pray for the safety of our families, for our countries, for our planet. May God forgive us and protect us.
Dr. Floyd,
What is it, Hal?
there is a message for you.
Who's calling?
There is no identification.
What's the message?
Message as follows. It is dangerous to remain here. You must leave within 2 days.
Bowman now appears to Floyd, warning him that they must leave Jupiter within 2 days because something wonderful is about to happen.
Hello, Dr. Floyd. I don't have much time. I've been allowed to give you this warning. You must leave here in 2 days. You see, something's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Something wonderful.
Please.
Goodbye, Dr. Floyd. We can have no further contact.
What's going to happen?
Floyd disobeys the US government's orders and heads over to the Leonov to tell the Russians that everyone has to leave within 2 days.
Just listen to me. We gotta get out of here. We have to leave in 2 days.
I can't do all of these things with no reason. I can't disobey my country for no reason.
Forget reason. No time to be reasonable. The politicians can go screw themselves. We're not playing games. The war is over. Good Christ. It's gone.
Since neither ship can reach Earth with an early departure, the Russians and the Americans work together to set Discovery up as a booster rocket for the Leonov.
Message from Milton to Floyd. It's been 12 hours since my request for information. I need a reply. All hell is breaking loose down here. I have enough problems
Since the disappearance of the monolith, a growing black spot has appeared on the surface of Jupiter.
Oh my God. Put the telescope on the monitor.
The spot is a vast grouping of monoliths that is rapidly increasing in number, shrinking Jupiter's volume, increasing the planet's density, and modifying the chemical properties of its atmosphere.
Tell me I'm nuts. Are the cloud formations going towards the spot?
You're not nuts. Looks like they think is eating the planet.
Tensions start to rise because Hal has not been told that Discovery will be stranded in space and probably destroyed.
We have to leave here and we need your help.
30 seconds to final sequence. If you would tell me the reason, perhaps I could be of help. Dr. Chandra, I find it difficult to proceed with the ignition without knowing why we are doing this. Is the mission in jeopardy?
Yes, we're in jeopardy.
What will happen to the Discovery?
It could be destroyed.
Chandra fears that another deception may cause Hal to malfunction again.
And if I don't proceed with the launch?
Then the Leonov and everybody in it could be destroyed.
Therefore, during the launch countdown, he tells the computer the truth.
I understand now, Dr. Chandra.
Hal agrees that it must sacrifice itself for the human beings on board the Leonov to complete Discovery's mission.
Do you want me to stay with you?
No. It is better for the mission if you leave. 1 minute to ignition. Thank you for telling me the truth. Ignition. Full thrust.
Separation in 10 seconds.
10, 9, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Выпусти разделительные болты. Четыре, 3, 2, 1.
The Leonov leaves Jupiter just before the monoliths engulf the planet and increase its density to the point that nuclear fusion occurs, transforming the planet into a small star.
Hal, you read me?
Yes, Dave. Where are you? I cannot see you on any of my monitors.
Before this happens, Bowman commands Hal to repeatedly broadcast a final message to Earth.
The AE-35 antenna towards Earth. Accept priority override Alpha. Here are the AE-35 coordinates. Please do it now.
Instructions confirmed, Dave. It is good to be working with you again. Have I fulfilled the mission objectives properly?
Yes, Hal. You've done very well.
What is going to happen, Dave?
Something wonderful.
It's rigging! It's rigging!
With the destruction of Jupiter, Bowman's message is revealed. new star's miraculous appearance inspires the American and Soviet leaders to seek peace, whilst Europa gradually transforms from an icy wasteland to a humid jungle covered with plant life. So, that was Peter Hyams' 2010, the year we made contact. How do I feel about it 32 years after its release? Well, 2010 is a difficult movie to talk about because it's always overshadowed by its big brother, the behemoth that is 2001, A Space Odyssey. One can't talk about 2010 without talking about 2001. 2010 is replete with references to 2001. The Russian commander of the mission, Tanya Orlov, in the 2010 novel, is called Tanya Kubuk in the movie. A time cover magazine about the American-Soviet tensions is briefly shown, in which President of the United States is portrayed by Arthur C. Clarke, and a Soviet premiere by the 2001 producer, writer and director, Stanley Kubrick. We have the reappearance of David Bowman, the reappearance of the Star Child, the monolith at the end, waiting for intelligent life to evolve, and of course the now iconic opening section to Also Sprach Zarathustra. How many of you know that Also Sprach Zarathustra is actually a tone poem composed by Richard Strauss in 1896 and is inspired by Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophical book of the same name? The piece is divided into 9 sections, and Strauss named the sections after selected chapters of Nietzsche's book, and is 30 minutes in length. The section we all know, Ein Leitung, represents the creation of the coming of a new age and takes up just 2 minutes of the overall composition. 2001 came out in the late 1960s, that legendary time when yuppies were still hippies and they went to see the movie a dozen times, laying flat on their backs on the floor so that the sounds and light trip in the second half of the movie could wash over them and they could stagger to the exits whispering, "Far out, dude," to one another. Now, along comes 2010, a continuation of the Kubrick film, directed by Peter Hyams, whose background is in the more pragmatic projects such as Outland, the Sean Connery space station thriller. 2010 is very much a 1980s movie. It doesn't match the poetry and the mystery of the original film, but it does continue the story, and it offers sound, pragmatic explanations for many of the strange and visionary things in 2001 that have us still arguing endlessly as to their meaning to the present day. 2010 has 1980s pragmatism at its core. Do we really want to know why Hal disobeyed Dave's orders? Or the real reason for the Discovery's original mission? Or what the monoliths were trying to tell us? Not exactly. 2010 is not an artistic triumph, but it is a triumph of hardware, of special effects, and of slick filmmaking. This is a movie that owes more to George Lucas and to Stanley Kubrick, more to Star Wars than to Also Sprach Zarathustra, and has an ending that is infuriating in its inadequacy to fulfill the sense of anticipation, the sense of wonder we felt at the end of 2001.
My God, it's full of stars.
Whether we understood it or not. However, 2010 is still a good movie. Once the lines have been drawn, once we realise that 2001 continues to stand absolutely alone as one of the greatest movies ever made, and once we have freed 2010 of the comparisons with Kubrick's masterpiece, what we are left with is a good-looking, sharp-edged, entertaining, exciting space opera. If Kubrick sometimes seems to be making a bloodless movie with faceless characters, Hyams pays a great deal of attention to story and personality. One of the best character moments being the touching scene where a Soviet and an American hold on to each other for dear life during a terrifying crisis. Other great moments are special effects achievements, a spacewalk threatened by vertigo, the awesome presence of Jupiter, and a spectacular flight through the planet's upper atmosphere. However, even with all those achievements, it is possible that no conclusion of 2010 could be totally satisfying, especially to anyone who still remembers the puzzling, awesome simplicity of the Star Child turning to regard us at the end of 2001. This sequel had its work cut out for it from the very start. To enjoy 2010 for what it is, you have to make some distinctions. 2001: A Space Odyssey remains inviolate, one of the handful of true film masterpieces. In a more temporal sphere, 2010 qualifies as superior entertainment, a movie more at home with technique and artistry, with character than with mystery. Whilst 2010 is a movie that explains too much and leaves too little to our sense of wonderment, it is still a good movie all the same. If you are open-minded and consider 2010 for what it is, a different director's take on telling a story from a different book, produced in a different era, then you'll enjoy this movie, appreciating that it stands on its own as one of the top science fiction films ever made.